So today we're going to be doing a monster tier list. I found one that's mostly just like Toho Kaiju, that I think's got like King Kong in here. Um, and so yeah, let's get into it. I promise this should be the last tier list. I just need some easier content to do while I'm getting back into school, and these were some easier things to work on. It doesn't take too long to edit or anything like that, and recording is not too bad either. So let's get into this. We're gonna start off here with King Caesar. This is a hard one. He, doesn't make a whole lot of appearances, but when he does, he he feels important, and he honestly the most important thing in the movie, Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, and it's featuring Godzilla and the first appearance of Mechagodzilla. Yet it feels more like it's about King Caesar. Next up, we got Manda. Final Wars, in my opinion, is his best appearance. He just never really got much screen time, and he just never impressed me. So I'm gonna have to give it like D tier. Enough said. Moving on, Rodan. Instant S tier is my favorite monster other than Godzilla. I think that Rodan just has so much character. A beautiful design every single time. I can't think of a bad Rodan design. The original Rodan is one of my favorite kaiju movies of all time. Next up, Mogira. I really like him in Space Godzilla. I have not seen Mysterians. It's on the list of things to get around to at some point. So I think I'm going to put it C, and we'll see where it goes from now. Mecha Ghidorah, much better robot in the Heisei series. Gonna give it an A. This actually really works out right now. And he's very strong, puts up a great fight against Godzilla, even beating him. Next up, we have Gigan. So this is where I suffer here. If this was design, it'd be S tier. I love this design of Gigan. But if it's like strength, he's F tier, and character-wise, F tier. This movie destroys everything that Gigan is, other than his design. Gigan's supposed to be tough. He could have been the main villain of this movie if they really wanted him to be. And yet they just make him look like an idiot. He's like no pun intended, he's like a chicken with his head cut off. Like I don't know if that was like the joke that they were trying to make with it, but it's so bad. I have to just give Final Wars Gigan D tier. It's just unfortunate. Next up is Showa Baragon. I'm gonna go here as well. Same thing as Manda, just doesn't do much in the Showa era. I mean, if GMK Baragon, which we'll get to later, much higher up, but Showa just doesn't do much. I've never seen Frankenstein versus Baragon, so I don't have that movie into this opinion, so all I have is Destroy All Monsters. And I mean, I think Manda was more prominent in that movie than him, so honestly, do that. Next up, we got Biollante, A tier as well. It's very cool. It's very unique, design for a monster as well, and hearing the stories about all the work that was put in to make the suit and just how much work and all that, it's just incredible. All right, so next up is Kong. I used to not like Kong at all. I thought that he was the most overrated thing ever up until, other than I do like Kong in the 2005 movie. That was the only time I'd ever actually liked a Kong movie, I'm going to be honest. I think it's so cheesy. And then Skull Island came out. And Skull Island definitely helped change my opinion on Kong. His character is so much better in the MonsterVerse than in his the cheesy movies, his older movies where it's just ooh, girl, pretty girl, I protect. It's so stupid. And luckily they fixed that with the MonsterVerse. So next up, Monster X, S tier. Don't care. I wish he would have never changed into Kaiser Ghidorah. I will die on that hill that Kaiser Ghidorah is worse than Monster X. Monster X is so much cooler. I want him to show back up in a movie at some point so badly and not turn into I think Monster X should just become a separate entity so that I can see him more. Next up, Destroya, my second favorite monster, S tier. I think just about everybody will put Destroya in S tier. Next up, Titanosaurus, top of A tier, man. The one appearance just sells me. Titanosaurus is so funny, so powerful, so like such a great design, and the roar is iconic. It's all around amazing monster. Next up, Kuryu. This is my. I do prefer Showa Mechagodzilla, but this is the next best, in my opinion. So we'll give it A. Ebra, I do think he's gets more hate than he should, but he is kind of bland, so we'll put him in C tier. Next up, Dorat's F tier. I hate stuff like this. Gabra, just because I think it's a unique idea. I'm not saying it's a good one, but I'll give it props for unique. Giant Condor is so bland and boring. What am I doing? Manila should always just be in F tier. This next up, Monster vs Godzilla, S tier for sure. Next up, Muto. So next up, King Ghidorah from the Monsterverse, S tier for sure. It's by far the best version of Ghidorah in any movie. It's just baffles me to the people that say that Shimu is better or stronger than Ghidorah. Oh, don't get me started on that. It irks my soul. Actually, you know where is? Oh, Shimu is not on here. It's right. Well, for all you Shimu fans out there, just imagine Shimu right here, right next to Manila. Just these two just chilling in the bottom of F tier as they should be. Shimu's terrible. Enough getting off topic though. Next up, Heisei Godzilla. Perfect, the best version of Godzilla. Best character maybe of all of the Godzilla era. Showa Godzilla, right there. And then we'll get Godzilla's out of the way actually real quick. 54 Godzilla. TriStar. Final Wars Goji. Or Final Goji, I should say. I just think that MonsterVerse has better character to him. Anime, Burning Goji, that's the perfect Goji right there. Oh, and then Meyer. Yeah. Is that all of the Godzillas? Oh, wait. I mean, it's the same Godzilla. I'm just gonna leave that there. So yeah, I got all the Godzillas out of the way. Next up, Kaiju Ghidorah. Still cool. Not Monster X levels of cool, though. Put it here. Kuryu's better than... Yeah, we'll do that. That looks good. Space Godzilla, not a fan. I guess they just... I don't like the fights between him and Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla, so I have this perception of Space Godzilla that is bad. I think if they did the movie again and they had better fight scenes, I think my thoughts on Space Godzilla would change. Just the movie that he's in really stains the image of Space Godzilla for me. Next up, Monster vs. Rodan. It has an amazing design and has a great 10-minute or probably more like 5-minute scene, and then after that he's just not really there, which sucks. I hope that he shows back up in a movie at some point because I miss seeing Rodan, but for now he'll just be sitting in the bottom of S tier. Next up, the better Baby Godzilla. Okay, no, so this is including Junior Godzilla as well. Then we'll put it at top of B tier. I really like this concept on how Baby Godzilla works much more than Manila. I think it was stupid for Final Wars to use Manila again whenever they had a version of Godzilla that works. And I wish they would have done something more like this that they do in the Heisei era, but it's whatever. Junior Godzilla is amazing. Next up, Gorosaurus. Gigan, S tier. Showa Gigan is... His character in Godzilla vs. Gigan is one of the best. I think that's what something Showa era does so well, is expressing the feelings of the monsters and the emotions. And I think the two best are Rodan and Gigan. Both of them, just the emotions they show throughout the era is incredible, and it's funny, and it helps you relate to them, so Gigan's easily S tier. Jet Jaguar isn't my favorite. Megalon, I like a lot more than Jet Jaguar. I mean, I'm not going to come out here and say he's my favorite kaiju like Godzilla guy, but he's definitely up there. Yeah, we'll do that. Once again, a big monster on emotions. So, he was bound to be on the top of the list. Rodan, you already know about it. You know me at this point. If you haven't figured it out while watching this tier list, Rodan is going to go in S tier no matter what version. Batra, Mago. Is there a Batra Larva? No, there's not. So this will be Batra Larva as well. Then, right here, my 3 favorite monsters, not including Godzilla, are Rodan, Destroya, and Batra. And so they're going to sit pretty at the top of the list, beating out a couple versions of Godzilla even, including the Showa era and Meyer Goji, which just aren't my favorite versions of Godzilla. We've got Hedorah, another great kaiju from the Showa era. I'm seeing a pattern here of just like Showa era monsters are typically at the top of the list for me. And then again, Heisei. Mothra from the Heisei era. Yeah, okay, we do have all the versions of Mothra. We're gonna knock those out real quick. Gonna speed run a little bit. I'd say it's the best version of Mothra. So real quickly, Heisei era is my favorite. Has the best design in my opinion, strongest, and probably the most prominent Showa era. The Imago form only shows up in the one movie, other than her actual solo movie. No, it shows up in 2 movies, sorry, Ebra and 64. Monster vs. Mothra kind of returns her back to her Showa era almost. Millennium era, in this, well, I guess specifically GMK, also takes away kind of what makes Mothra cool, at least to me. And I'd say it's the worst design of any of the Mothras. I just don't like the insects, except King Kong from the Showa era. So not my favorite. Anime Ghidorah, terrible. It's a cool concept. The whole anime trilogy it's just executed so poorly, and it's sad. That's not what I'm doing. Definitely not. S tier for Heisei Ghidorah for sure. Better than Mothra, better than this version of Rodan. Not better than Monster vs. Ghidorah though. There we go. I like that. Megaguirus, one of my lesser favorite monsters as well. The annoying roar. I'm gonna knock some of these ones out that I just don't typically care about. Orga. B tier, just yeah, we'll do that. Showa Anguirus, top of A tier. Kumonga, D tier. Sorry, I'm trying to get some of these done that you might not care about as much, because I don't want this video to go on for too long. Next up, Mechagodzilla 2. I personally like this version of Mechagodzilla. I think that it gets a lot of slack. I love the movie, so it's a high stand up for me. And there we go. My 5 favorite monsters are Godzilla, Rodan, Destroya, Batra, and Mechagodzilla. Those are my top 5. Ghidorah does not make it on the list. He is number 6, however, so it's not like I'm like just hating on Ghidorah. I think Mechagodzilla is the better in terms of Godzilla's arch nemesis over Ghidorah, in my personal opinion. And then Batra and Destroyer for me are the highlights of Heisei era, and Rodan being the greatest kaiju in my opinion. Varan, I like him more than the other Showa monsters that just are the background characters, so we'll put him top of D. Showa Ghidorah, it's where it all started. I don't think that he's better than Heisei, or I think that's a good spot for him. Actually, I'm going to move. Yeah. Nope. Yeah, we'll do that. I just don't want Esther to be too big. GMK Baragon is definitely up there for me. Alright, and GMK Ghidorah. I know a lot of people hate this version, and I'm probably going to catch some slack, but I love GMK Ghidorah. It's my second favorite design for a Ghidorah, which is wild because in terms of design, I put it over Heisei even. I'd say MonsterVerse and the GMK are the best. I know he's smaller than the Godzilla in the movie, and that's kind of weird, but he's unique, and he's got like this aura to him, and his theme song playing along with it behind him just helps so much. And so I think right here is a good spot for him. I'm gonna put this good. Yeah. So yeah, I think that is it. I think this is my list, and I'm sure some of them are not gonna make sense to you. I know the GMK that high up on the list is gonna be a hot take for some of you, saying it's better than Showa. I know some people are. I'm gonna cut some slack for not putting in, or catch some slack. Sorry, for putting Kuryu in A, not in S. I know I'm gonna catch some slack for Space Godzilla being this low, and honestly, probably even King Kong. But my personal opinion, I can't wait to hear what y'all's are in the comments below. Let me know what your top 5 favorite monsters are. And I hope y'all come back, check out the channel. There's a plenty of videos for you to go check out. Leave a like, subscribe if you don't mind helping out. And I will see you all in the next one.